Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome back to the free-to-play review. So today's topic is going to be the latest iteration of the summon pool, that being the Savage Summon Pool 2. I believe we had one in May of the same name. And the main feature of this summon pool is, of course, Hansel Witch Hunter, the brother of the current fusion going on right now, which arguably most people have skipped, and thus maybe he's not even that enticing to majority of folks, but nonetheless he is the headline champion for the summon pool. Alongside him you have a couple or a handful of decent nukers. You have Thor if you happen to miss the fusion, Razelvarg, previous fusion, Wukong. Most of us, I hope, should have him for free from promo codes, or if not, his original event. Herndig is also a previous fusion, but it's been a while since that one. King Garog got a buff recently. I believe he's fairly decent, but yet to be seen. And then we have Gwendolyn, we have Wallmaster with Aran, who's great for Hydra, and last but not least we have Quilcha, the Armon's hard counter. But alongside that you also have a decent group of the epic Shiv Genbo, the Dishonored, one of my favorite epic nukers in the game, just because he's really nice against Swift Parry, Unkillable, Leorius, Skullcrowns and the like. And aside from him, GMH is pretty popular for PvE content. You have a couple of Lady Mikage epics if you haven't done that already. I think let's see, Lady Quillen, as well as Firegun Esbel. Mr. Rider Dahi, pretty fun champion, lots of extra turns, debuffer. Neldor is good for hard mode Fire Knight with the freeze on the A1 plus his passive. Zorgala, decent debuffer. Armina, also a decent debuffer. Beauregard, great for enemy max HP. Farrakhan the Fat, the most accessible ally attack champion, or the best epic ally attack champion, either one. And then Fenax, my favorite epic nuker in the game, single target, but nonetheless, block revive on the A1, super fun. So decent amount of good epics in there and a decent amount of decent legendary. They're all kind of nukers or like nuker adjacent champions, so pretty strong pool if you happen to get anyone. As usual, the rates for the summon pool are 6% to get a legendary and 94% chance to get an epic, so practically this is a sacred shard. It's going to cost 40 to summon. This is typically the value that they have associated with ones that have a headline champion, so it's kind of falling in line with our historical precedent. In this go around you can get a free air quote summon from a couple of places, both of which are tournaments, one of which is already live, and it is the Sand Devil Turn Attack Tournament. It's pretty steep up there at 6,300 unless you have a super fast team, but nonetheless, if you're not doing the fusion, the fusion's basically ending, and we'll get to that in a second. But if you're not working on anything else, then Sand Devil is a great place to be, just because it helps you ascend your gear and reroll the ascension stats and whatnot. But also, you should have an opportunity to get one free summon from the Soul Chase tournament that starts here in a couple of hours, at least at the time of this recording. And this is great because it will coincide with the boosted rates on Perfect Souls. So this will be a good opportunity to pull your Mortal and Immortal Soul Stones if you have them saved up for things like this. In terms of what I'm doing for this particular summon pool, I'm still working on the Gredo fusion. You can see here we're working on the last event here, which is the Spider Tournament. It's still going to take me the next couple of days to get all the way out there, and then I probably will just brew the last rare and brew the last epic and make sure that I fuse her, because there's only I think 2 or 3 days left for the fusion. I don't anticipate that there's going to be a champion training event, but I might hold off to see if one starts here on the last day, just so I can get some points for doing that, but we'll kind of wait and see on that one. But essentially I'm still working on that in terms of my energy, but I would be inclined to go for the Sand Devil Turn Attack Tournament as soon as I'm done with Spider, assuming that they do drop some energy here in the clan shop. I'll find out in an hour or so. But on top of that, I do also note that for me, on my particular daily login reward rotation, I will have the 300 energy as well tomorrow after the reset, so that could be good to start off with 1300 energy in the Sand Devil. So that might encourage me to go for it, just to see how feasible it is to go all the way out there to 6300. And of course I do have a stockpile of gems if need be to go towards that as well. But what I can say for sure is that I will be pulling some soul stones for the Soul Chase tournament and the boosted rates. You can see here that I have just about 250 on the Mortals and 26 on the Immortals, and then 1 Eternal, which I probably will save for some sort of Hero's Path or something in the future. But yeah, pretty decent stockpile of soul stones of the Mortals and the Immortals, so I am more than happy to pull a decent chunk for the Soul Chase tournament and see about getting that free summon. In terms of who I would want from the free summon, I wouldn't mind obviously getting the headline champion, because I am doing the fusion and they seem like a pretty strong duo for the arena, but also a decent amount of these would be faction guardians for me, especially Wallmaster Atharion would be another slot for high elves, which would be towards the speed for Arbiter, which is very strong. But someone like Thor or Herndig could be good for their respective factions as well. And as far as new champions go, then Quilcha would be number 1, because Armand is everywhere and I would love to have the hard counter to him. For the epics, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but number 1 would be Fenax, because I would like to get him to +4 eventually, but just getting any of the epics that I already have a copy of for empowerment would be useful. So the point being, there is some incentive incentive for me to want to go for a free summon, on top of the fact that it's a good time to pull soul stones anyway. And then if I end up going for the Sand Devil one, then I just have an extra opportunity to potentially get someone good. Granted, we did get a legendary on the last summon pool, so the odds are fairly low. I mean, it's not like Mercy carries over or anything, so there is a chance that I could get one, but my expectations are a lot lower having gotten one the last time. As far as my formal recommendation goes for all of you, I think it's basically the same thing that I'm doing. If you have spare energy, I would definitely recommend to be doing the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament to get that free summon, because like I've said, majority of people aren't doing the fusion, so you probably have nothing better to do in the short term with your energy. And if you have a decent stockpile of soul stones, then I encourage you to pull during the booster rates, just because that's good for your account and your progression, on top of being able to get another free summon. So there you have it. That's going to do it for the free-to-play review of Savage Summon Pool 2. Let me know in the comment section down below what your plan is relative to this particular iteration of the summon pool. Are you going for 1 free summon, 2, or maybe even 0? Sometimes people don't even care about these things at all. Oh, and I guess I should mention, for those who are wondering where on earth my beard has gone, that it is once again Movember. As you probably can't see, I am attempting to grow a mustache for the entire month of November in support of the Movember campaign, which is an organization that supports men's health, which is most certainly on the decline in the modern times, as well as supports research for testicular and prostate cancer. And there's also a charitable component to this, not that you guys have to donate on my behalf, but I will be donating $2 for every subscriber gained for the entire month of November, which is a perfect segue into saying that if you did find this video helpful, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel. And if you enjoy the videos on this channel, then feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching and have a good one.